Hello, hello! Bl'Artagnan here with Gentle Fist, the Ursula debut Lufenia Plus fight. We're bringing a team of Golbez, Cait Sith and Paine. It feels appropriate that I be using a Golbez team here for my latest video because I just hit 500 subscribers, and I'm kind of over the moon about it, I really gotta say. I appreciate all the support you guys have shown, whether you're a YouTube bigwig like Black Nero or Cross or Dystopia Clay, or just someone who enjoys what I do and have found it helpful or entertaining. It really means a lot to me, so thank you very much for being a part of this journey. I quite literally could not have done it without you. So I guess, yeah, before we get too deep into it, thank you for hitting that like button, and ringing that notification bell, subscribing, all that jazz. It means a lot to me. So, what do we got going on here? We got a pretty nutso combination here. If you haven't used Paine and Cait Sith in this fight together, give it a shot because it is a load of fun. Paine, of course, brings that permanent 40% brave gain up once you've maxed her overhead and she's in the third slot of the party. And Cait Sith is doing that awesome LD battery on every attack, so if you have someone with a lot of brave hits, like a Golbez for instance, every time he acts, he's going to be just battering the party battering the user like crazy, and that's going to result in a lot of damage. You'll see here, for most of the fight, I'm going to be using Golbez's Glare Hand as skill 2, which is kind of unusual for Golbez. Usually I find his skill 1 does a bit more damage. It has a higher damage floor, I should say, because it uses splash damage, whereas his skill 2, Glare Hand, tends to do a little bit less damage in most cases, but if you can really jack him up, it has a higher damage ceiling, because it's split damage and, overflow and all that. And we got that in spades. So here you go. You see we've been kind of stalling out using AAs and calls and things in order to break them just so. They have this scary all-attack queued up, that bubble whatever thing they do. Bubble Blast, Bubble Beam, Bubble whatever, Bubble Burst. And that's going to be a problem. So you're going to see here, first we're going to use the Fran base call to extend it. Even though it's on 2 turns, we wanted to extend it now because when they use that all-attack, it's going to delay us by 2 turns. Or, well, each one's going to delay us by a turn. Going to the Golbez burst phase now, because that all attack is also probably the most dangerous thing they do outside of having an orb that, you need to satisfy. Ooh, look at that, 600,000. This is what I'm talking about. This just spicy damage, spicy Glare Hand damage. You love to see it. Throwing at let's see how much damage this does. Well, okay, a little extra launch, but what do we got there? Yep, no, that was a 1,000,000 damage LD without a burst effect on the field. These two are nuts, Cait Sith and Paine. Anyway, also Cait Sith very quickly stacks up the overhead because of all of the buffs he drops, so that's pretty awesome. Anyway, so that all attack is kind of dangerous, so we're locking them out. The reason we used the Fran base call earlier, as I was saying, is because with the delays they're going to be hitting us with, the AoE delays, they're almost certainly going to run through a couple of turns of debuffs, and so we want to make sure that Fran's not about to run out on us. Yeah, look at this. If we hadn't refreshed it, it would fall off now when they use these 2 turns. So now we got a couple extra turns of Fran, and Kurosami, it's okay. We can refresh that whenever. Here we go. Now it's time to hit him with the big damage. Between Kurosami, Shiva, and Paine, their speed has been lowered. Oh, and Fran too. Speed has been lowered quite a bit, which puts me in trouble if you've been keeping up with things. That stacking Shiva and speed down, that's grounds for a lawsuit right there. Anyway, I should be careful. I just unlocked community posts, and I don't want to be ruffling too many feathers with the things I'll be saying on that. Hope you guys like dad jokes. Anyway, so yeah, we are pushing them below 50, putting out a lot of heavy, consistent damage. I wasn't gonna blue Paine, and I probably still won't, but the temptation is definitely there. The only reason I wouldn't at this point is because I think I'm down to 2 books, and I just want to make sure I don't run out of materials. Look at another 1,000,000 damage button there. You love to see it. It's kind of wild. We're dealing so much damage that Toy Soldier is out damaging Cait Sith's Brave Plus because of the split the split damage and overflow. I think Paine gives a lot of overflow too, so it's great. So here, eyeballing it. They have that speed up buff on them now, which is pretty irritating. We don't like that. And so we're gonna summon now so that Paine can dispel those. The trick here is Kurosami is now at 5 stacks on, well, one of them on both, and the other's at 4. They're basically Kurosami is effectively maxed out on them, and so we want to keep that up as long as possible to maximize our HP damage. So we're gonna go ahead and dispel so they slow down. And we're actually going to bring in Sid Reigns right now. Because his LD is going to give us some great turn manipulation and allow us to deny their turns as long as possible. Of course, we could have kept Golbez on the field and just, continue blowing them up, but why do that when we could just deny them at any more turns? The big disadvantage Golbez has overall is the fact that he's basically a fair unit. He just sits there and punches them hard, and then they punch him back. Yeah, I guess I should... For those of you who are new and joining me, you're going to be seeing a lot of Golbez content on this channel. He's one of my favorite units. I just find him really funny. He's not especially good, but he's functional, and I'll try to make him work as best I can. Anywho, there we go. Let's get him with another launch. We're going to actually use Toy Soldier here because I'm a pansy and didn't press the LD. I should have pressed the LD there, but so it goes. It actually didn't launch, which I don't understand, but okay. Maybe I didn't target the right one. In any case, there's a launch. I hadn't noticed it was going to happen that way, but there we are. Bit of a waste to launch there, but we'll be fine. So, that's about it. I mean, that's basically where we're at this point. You can see, because of Cait Sith combined with Paine Brave Up, the orb has never been a problem at any point during this fight. Basically, anytime anyone goes, they're battery to full, because you're doing a zillion D. It's like, what, 18% of the max Brave, increased by 40%, reduced by the Brave reduction of the stage, but you're doing that per Brave hit, and so that's a lot of Brave. A lot of Brave you're gaining every time you press a button. And that's a lot of damage you're putting out. So I'm just having a great time with that. Unfortunately, it looks like they are going to get a single turn, which is not the greatest. So Kurosama is going to take down here. And it's actually going to deal no damage, because Shiva's awesome. So, unfortunately, this does also mean the buffs are going to tick down, and that's scary. We're down to one last turn of Fran, and Kurosama's been reset to 1 on the other one now. So that's kind of lame, but I think not as lame as they're probably feeling flying through the air and getting kicked. Weird little scuttle crab things. I don't mind the bosses being small this time. I feel like the big bosses have been kind of hard to... In some cases, they really make the animations kind of wonky. But it also feels weird because the first time I saw them, I'm like, oh, cool, new random wave enemy, not a boss, just a regular enemy, and then it, didn't die, and I'm like, what the hell is this? So that was kind of funny. Anyway, here we go. Blowing them up. We're going to end things in style here with Paine's LD. And a launch off that, why the hell not? And there you have it. Golbez, Cait Sith, and Paine going through this Lufenia Plus. I hope you enjoyed. I sure did. If you did, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Adios.